Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be about supply and demand. What is demand? Demand is the willingness to buy a good or service at all prices. What is a good? A good is like buying a phone or a laptop, for example. Server is like going to a hairdresser or going to the salon, etc. The quantity demanded depends on a several number of factors. For example, price, income, preferences, quality, brand, etc. Example, your demand for soda depends on the price of the soda, whether you like the soda or not, whether you have enough money to buy the soda or not, and any other related factors. On the next slide, we can see the demand function. The QD is equal to the A, P plus B, where A is less than 0. QD is the quantity demanded, A is the slope of the demand curve, and B is the vertical intercept. We can see that the demand curve is down sloping, thus it's downward. All right? Factors that cause a shift in demand: price of other goods, like substitute goods or complementary goods; outlook, the consumer expectation of future income and prices; income, of course; a number of potential customers and the customer's taste. Shifting, demand shifts to the right when it increases and to the left when it decreases. Of course, we're talking about the graph. What's the law of demand? The law of demand states that as the price of a good rises, the quantity demanded of the good falls, and that as the price of a good falls, the quantity demanded of the good rises. So, as the price goes up, the quantity goes down, the quantity demanded, and as the price goes down, the quantity demanded goes up. Alright, so in regard to the supply is the quantity of a good or a service, or of a good or service a firm is willing to produce at all prices. Supply function is the quantity supplied, QS, is equal to A, P plus B, where A is greater than 0. Alright? The supply curve, it's upward, so its sloping is upward. What are some factors that cause a shift in the supply curve? First, productivity. Second, inputs, thus the change in the price of inputs required to produce the good or service. Government actions, subsidies, taxes and regulations. Technology, improvements in machines and production processes of a good or service. Outputs, thus price changes in other products produced by the firm. Expectations, outlook of future prices and profits, and size of industry, number of firms in the industry, etc. Shifting, supply shifts to the right when it increases and to the left when it decreases. And again, I'm talking about the graph, thus the supply curve. At equilibrium, QS equal QD. What is equilibrium? Equilibrium is the condition that exists when quantity supplied and quantity demanded are equal. At equilibrium, there is no tendency for price to change, thus QS equal QD. What's a shortage? What's a surplus? Shortage or excess demand is the condition that exists when quantity demanded exceeds quantity supplied at the current price. Thus, if there's for example, if many people or if all the people are demanding something, the quantity demanded will exceed the quantity supplied. So let's say if there is 1,000 1,000 items of something, and there are 5,000 people demanded that something. So that's the shortage. Surplus, it's vice versa. Surplus or excess supply is the condition that exists when the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at the current price. For example, there's 10,000 items of a certain thing, and there's only 5,000 people demanding it. That's a surplus. We can see that the graph of the equilibrium, we can see that the demand is downward sloping in blue, and the supply in green is upward sloping. And we can see that the point where the supply and the demand meet at, that's the equilibrium. Notes: a decrease in demand, thus shift left, leads to lower price and lower quantity exchanged. A decrease in supply, leftward shift, leads to higher price and lower quantity exchanged. So when there's something and people are not demanding it, that will lead to the price of that something to be lower. And for example, and another example in regard to the supply, if there's something and there's not enough amount of that something, that'll lead for that something to be at a higher price than usual. All right? What are price ceilings and price floors? All right, so what is price ceiling? Price ceiling is a maximum price set by the government that prevents prices from rising above a certain level. For example, rent control laws in some cities where landlords are legally limited in how much they can charge for rent. What is price floor? Price floor is an above equilibrium price used as a government regulation to help producers increase their profits, to help producers and suppliers increase their profits. All right, so example, the government sets a minimum wage of $10 per hour if the market equilibrium wage for unskilled labor is $8 per hour. The minimum wage law requires employers to pay at least $10 per hour. That's just an example, all right? All right, so let's get into the calculations. You are given the following market data for ABC automobiles. That's an example. The demand, the quantity demanded is 80,000 minus 4P, and S, the quantity supplied, is equal to 10P minus 130,000. Find the equilibrium quantity and price. Then, at a price of 18,000, will there be a shortage or a surplus? How much is it? What's the quantity traded? And will the price remain at 18,000? So find the equilibrium quantity and price, and we have learned that at equilibrium, the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. So we have the quantity demanded is equal to 80,000 minus 4P, and the quantity supplied is equal to 10P minus 130,000. At equilibrium, QD is equal to QS. We can see that 80,000 minus 4P is equal to 10P minus 130,000. We bring the minus 130,000 from the left side, from the right side to the left, from this side to this side. So it becomes 80,000 plus 130,000, and then it becomes 210,000. At the same time, we bring the minus 4P to the other side. That'll make it positive, so it'll be 10P plus 4P, that's 14P. And then doing calculations, P is equal to 210,000 divided by 14, P is equal to 15,000. And then that's the equilibrium price. To find out what's the equilibrium quantity, we need to substitute P, that's 15,000, in any equation that's in QD or in QS. And when we do that, we get Q is equal to 20,000 units. All right, the second question, will there be a shortage or a surplus at 18,000? So we can, that's simple. We calculated the equilibrium price, which is $15,000. So 18,000 is more. So probably what does it mean? It means a surplus, because $18,000 is greater than $15,000. All right. So at P equal $18,000, there will be a surplus, since 18,000 is higher than the equilibrium price. 18,000 is bigger than or greater than 15,000. How much is it? How much is that surplus? All right, so we need to substitute 18,000. We need to substitute the P by 18,000 and both Q and QD and QS to get the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied, and then we'll need to subtract them to get the answer. So if we put 18,000 instead of the P and the QS, we get 50,000. And if we put the P, which is 18,000, and the QD, we get 8,000. We're talking units. So 50,000 minus 8,000 is 42,000 units. That's the surplus. For what is the quantity traded? The quantity traded is obviously the demanded quantity. The quantity demanded. So the quantity traded at this price is the quantity demanded, since it is the only quantity needed. The quantity supplied is sufficient to meet the quantity demanded. And the last question in today's video is, will the price remain at 18,000? Of course not. Let's see the answer. No, the suppliers or the producers will get rid of all the quantity supplied that is left. Thus the price will decrease and decrease and decrease until equilibrium is restored. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave your questions down in the comment section below, and please subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram @succeedwithali. Until next time, have a great day.